All right, guys, we're going to work on some systems of equations. I've been told y'all are great at this from Algebra 1 and later, so should be a good review for you guys. I'm going to show you two ways to do these things, and here we go. First way is called substitution. Substitution, and it's just what it sounds like. Now, we're going to do substitution when we have a variable that has a coefficient of 1, like that x right there has a 1 as a coefficient. That's when we're going to use substitution. If we don't say I have any variables in there that have a 1 in front of them, we're not doing substitution. It's just too much work. So, but the 1, it makes perfect sense to do it. So here's how it works. You take the variable with the 1 in front, and we're going to solve for that one. So I'm going to move the 2y over. I'm going to come over here and make it say x equals 8 minus 2y. Now the key is what I just said. That's what x equals. X is 8 minus 2y. And substitution means I'm going to substitute this 8 minus 2y into the other x in that equation. So I'm going to put the 8 minus 2y right there where that x was. Leave everything else the same. And then I'm going to solve that. I'll have y's, so I can solve that, distribute the 3 like that, minus 4y equals negative 6. Now, if I subtract the y's there, I get negative 10y. I'm going to move the 24 over, gives me negative 30, divide by the negative 10, it gives me 3. And there's my y. Now, to solve the system, I'm looking for x and y. The great thing about substitution is once you find your first answer, once you find that 3, I'm just going to substitute again. I'm going to plug it in right back where I started. And my x is going to equal 8 minus 2 times 3 because I know well y is 3 already. 2 times 3 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. So x is 2 and y is 3. My answer we're going to write as an ordered pair. We're going to write it just like this. My answer is 2, 3. And there you go. That's substitution. That's a colorful looking slide. Looks like more work than it really is. And again, I've been told y'all were great at this already, so it should be no big deal there. All right, the other method is called elimination. I'll be honest, I use elimination more than substitution, but I can do a lot of stuff in my head, and that's the reason why I do that. Now, elimination means one of the variables needs to go away. So I'm looking at my x's, I got a 2 and a 3. I'm looking at my y's, I got a negative 3 and a 4. I would usually pick the x's because the numbers are smaller. 2 doesn't go into 3 and 3 doesn't go into 4, so that doesn't matter this time. But the y's already have different signs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that whole first equation and I'm going to multiply it times 4. And you'll see why in just a second. I'm going to take that whole second equation, multiply it by 3, because what that's going to do is it's going to give me this for my first equation. And don't forget to multiply the right-hand side. And my second equation is going to be this. And if you look at that, look at my y's now. My y's are opposites. They're ready to be canceled out. So I'm just going to add my two equations together. Those are gone. And I get 17x equals 50. Take that back. I missed a sign. I knew something was wrong there. That should be a negative 8. Sorry about that. So it should be a 34. That was almost a rule 5. Glad I caught that before you did. And divide by 17. I get 2. Again, the reason that worked out that way, I forgot that was a negative 2 there, so I had to make that a negative 8 when I multiplied by the 4. That was my fault. Okay, so x is 2. Now, where it's different from substitution is, I know the x is 2, which is good. I got to find the y. I got to figure out 2 what? Like what goes with the 2? So I've got to plug the 2 in. You can plug it in any of these equations you want to. I'm going to plug it in the second one down here just because everything's positive. That's the only reason. If you plug it in the top one, you can get the same answer. So I'm going to plug it in for my x. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4y equals 14. Move that 6 over. I get 8. Divide by 4. I get 2. So y is 2 also. That was kind of lucky. X is 2 and y is 2. That's elimination. If you look at that slide, it does look a little shorter than the last one, and it probably is. The harder thing about elimination is finding your second variable. Once you find your first one, you do have to go somewhere and plug it back in. Not a huge deal, but a little bit tougher than substitution. That part of it is. The other part's probably easier. Okay, and the last thing is we're going to solve these by graphing on the calculator tomorrow, but I need to show you that in class. It's so much easier to show you that in class than on the video, so make sure you have a calculator. Again, make sure you bring your calculator with you tomorrow. You will definitely need it. And I'll see you there. Have a good one. See ya.